Hey guys, we have a big energy day to talk about following hot on the heels of our new moon in Libra yesterday. This is the day, like, this may be the day that we've been waiting for a while. First of all, we have the sun coming into an exact opposition with Jupiter, opening our eyes about something. This is an expanded truth coming through in one way or another, very uplifting and positive vibes, but we want to watch taking things to excess today, you guys. We also have Mercury retrograde coming into an exact conjunction with Venus in the sky today, and this also happens to be an exact trine to Pluto. Mercury, what we're thinking about, what we're talking about; Venus, what we want, what we desire; relationships; Pluto, the purge, the transformation. Relationships on our mind today, talking about our feelings and the big changes that might be going on within us right now as well. And we also have a grand trine playing out in air signs today as well, you guys, between the moon in Libra, Mars in Gemini, Saturn in Aquarius. How are we restructuring our reality on an internal level right now, and what do we want to put some focus, diligent effort and work towards at this point in time? The emotions are very much tied up in this as well. All of these aspects, say, you guys, as they are playing out, they are really sort of intermingling, and they're sort of in this feedback loop. You'll see once we break it down by sign and really get into these aspects today, how they're really all helping each other out to accomplish this overall purpose that is represented today, that has a lot to do with us redefining or reevaluating what it is we truly want in relationship dynamics. Some major transformations underway as a result of some type of big truth or massive revelation that is coming to us in one way or another. This is one of those days, you guys, where some things are likely to be happening in some pretty big ways. So let's get into this chart. Let's see how all of this is playing out for us today and what we may be able to anticipate as we are going through this energy. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Monday, September 26th, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook of the day. If you guys stick with me till the end of the report, we're also going to be talking about some tarot cards that came out in correspondence with the astrology, just so that we can get a better, more well-rounded view, tap the field from a couple different modalities to sort of just help us out in interpreting what this energy may be bringing for us today. This day, you guys, I'm not joking, this is the big one. I feel like it's all sort of been boiling down to this energy that we have coming in today. These aspects that are hitting all simultaneously, all on top of one another, and like I said, they're really playing into each other. It's very clear how this energy is presenting. You know, a lot of times I have to take a lot of notes to keep my mind on track and make sure that I say the little things that I want to say to connect everything and stuff. Today's not one of those days. I took barely any notes on this energy just because it's so clear. It's blaring the info that is coming through with how these planets are lining up today, and especially in the context again of this new moon in Libra that we just had yesterday. If you guys watched my new moon in Libra video, you know that this cycle that is coming in right now is about some big revelations into something, really gaining an expanded viewpoint into something somehow that is helping on one hand to really restore peace and balance and justice in some things, but also really priming us for some major transformations and big changes that are going to start happening along the lines of relationships as we move through this Libra cycle. And I have to state, in the energy that it's playing out today, relationship dynamics are honestly just all over this everything, all over the chart, all over the symbolism, even in the tarot today when we get into that as well. We have these relationship dynamics and choices and decisions in these realms that is really presenting itself. But let's talk, you guys. Like I said, these things are playing out they're playing out simultaneously to each other, but they're also just really feeding into one another. First of all, we have the sun and Jupiter coming into their exact opposition today. Yesterday for our new moon in Libra, we had the new moon, the sun and the moon aligning together in the sign of Libra in exactly 1 degree orb off opposition to Jupiter. That was a very tight opposition to Jupiter. This energy is carrying through all month long, but today is the day that the sun itself is actually forming the exact opposition to Jupiter. Jupiter rules truth. Jupiter rules freedom. Jupiter rules our beliefs. Jupiter expands things. Jupiter rules blessings and luck. But we do want to be careful, and I want to say this, you guys, like this is sort of our word of caution in the energy today. We don't want to be taking things over the top, going to excess, getting too full of ourselves, like being overly arrogant or like self-righteous or like dogmatic about the beliefs or the views or the understandings that we are gaining at this point in time. This is not energy where we want to sort of be like asserting our understanding that we're gaining about things onto other people. This is energy where we want to take the understanding that we are gaining about things and really start making some major changes to our mindset and like how we are doing our life, basically. But Jupiter in the opposition to the sun, Jupiter is the planet, like I said, of expansion. It's the great benefic. Whenever Jupiter is aspecting in any way, this has a tendency of bringing like a more cheerful, jovial, optimistic, glass half full type of mindset and perspective and attitude. And we're talking about the sun. So people should generally be feeling like really good today in this energy. And this is happening in the polarities, of course, of Libra and Aries. The sun is in the sign of Libra, ruled by Venus. Jupiter is in the sign of Aries, ruled by Mars. So here enter Venus and Mars into the situation via the placement themselves of the Sun and Jupiter in this opposition, also bringing up these relationship dynamics. Libra, the sign of relationships, Aries, the sign of the self. So here we are setting up our first sort of major themes that we are dealing with today. And these are the themes of self, where Jupiter is, versus others. Jupiter in the sign of the self, Jupiter ruling truth, an expansion, perhaps some type of expanded understanding of a personal truth juxtaposed to the truth of what we want and desire and value in relationships going forward. The position of the sun. So there could be something coming to our awareness today that is just helping to shed some light on what it is that we truly want as a result of a personal truth that we are realizing in the context of relationships. Now, this same dynamic is being emphasized yet again by the fact that, like I said, number 2 aspect that we have playing out today, Mercury, the messenger planet, our mind, in the sign of Virgo, Mercury has retrograded back into Virgo. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, so Mercury in his sign of rulership right now in the conjunction to Venus today at 27 degrees of Virgo, in an exact trine to Pluto at 27 degrees of Capricorn. This is earth signs. You may be getting a phone call from somebody who wants to hash some things out in regards to some relationship dynamics today, or not necessarily a phone call, but like a message, a communication. There could be some communication coming in regards to relationships, and this communication could have a very profound or transformative effect on the state of that relationship dynamic. Venus and Mercury together. This is talking about communicating what we want, what we love, our affections, our desires. This is also Mercury retrograde right now, reconsidering, rediscovering, reevaluating what we want, what we desire, what we wish to pursue, what we want, what brings us pleasure, what brings us love. And Mercury retrograde as well with Venus. This could also be people from the past, relationships from the past, situations from the past that are coming back for some type of purge, purification, regeneration, new start as well, closure, reconciliation, tying up loose ends. Relationship stuff from the past could definitely be happening in this energy, but this is also really people just like wanting to talk about their feelings, like really wanting to have that conversation about the dynamic of the relationship and what needs to be fixed as well with Pluto. This could really be bringing some, like solving some root issues in relationship dynamics that are really like changing the entire nature of the relationship for the better. This could also be bringing relationship breakdowns as a result of the discovery of some really profound truths in relationships and being released from some type of commitment. There is definitely release from commitment energy that is coming through with this as a result of the stuff that is coming up that we're finding out. Because remember, with the sun in Libra. Libra is what? Libra is ruled by Venus, right? Venus conjunct Mercury in the sign to Pluto, in the trine to Pluto, while the sun in Libra is opposite Jupiter in Aries. Jupiter in Aries brings the truth. It brings this expanded viewpoint, this overall view, this bird's eye view perspective, like about the real truth into something. And then Venus ruling the position of the sun in that opposition, receiving this truth today in the conjunction to Mercury, the messenger planet. This is some type of messaging or information or conversation or communication or something that we're learning or something that we're hearing, just information that we're privy to, something that someone's telling us about relationships, or this retrograde energy as well there could also be a very like energy to it, like us reevaluating this energy that, or whatever information is coming to us, helping us to, reconsider what we want into some type of way. Or it could just be bringing this information about relationships, perhaps about something we'd missed in the past, something that we didn't know was going on in the past, clearing up things from the past in some type of way. Or it could just generally be bringing relationships and issues up that we need to talk about now as a result of something that we are realizing in this energy. But with that happening in the trine to Pluto, while the sun is in Libra, ruled by Venus, conjunct Mercury in the trine to Pluto, opposite Jupiter, this is just a recipe. Like we are bakers today, you guys. We are making a loaf, okay? And we are throwing the ingredients in there, and whatever comes out of this oven is gonna be like the real deal and pretty significant in terms of like altering the course of things for us. This is like in the Alice in Wonderland when she like eats the bread and it like makes her, or the thing, and it like makes her grow or makes her shrink. Like this is like the recipe that we're whipping up together, is like something that we are going to, make a part of us that is totally changing our reality, our perspective, our circumstances, like as a result of this mental and like heart-based emotional shift today. Because, we've got the sun wrapped up in it. We've also got the moon wrapped up in it in this grand air trine going on with Mars and Saturn. We haven't even gotten there yet. Okay, but yeah, so like the way that Venus trining Pluto with Mercury, messages, information, something coming in about, our feelings or our relationships or our heart. This could also be values, money as well, financial arrangements, material comforts, material pleasures, like all stuff like along these lines generally. But specifically with all this Libra energy, you guys, I really do, like I am feeling the relationship vibes big time, and choices in relationships, like this bringing up some type of choice or some type of change, or just some type of like just altering our perception perhaps of what's been going on, but very huge, transforming our thoughts and desires based on what we are discovering. And then you guys, so we have that, right? We have the sun opposing Jupiter, Libra, Aries, gaining some type of expanded insight into a personal truth that is changing, or a truth about something that affects us personally, that is changing the way we wish to relate to others, simultaneously learning something about either the nature of like the relationship that we have to ourselves and our own self-worth and our own self-value, which is really transforming the way that we wish to relate to others going forward, or our relationship dynamics that are in place right now, or some type of like some news or information or what we're learning, just really changing the way that we are, what we're wanting, what we're desiring, really shifting our preferences and having a major impact on our relationship. So that's what we got going on for one. And the trines, right? This Mercury, Venus, and trine the Pluto, these are happening in earth signs. So this is telling me like, don't be surprised if there are like some actual things that are tangibly happening. Like this, when things are happening in earth signs, like this is energy that's on the ground. This is stuff that's like actually happening in reality. So these are like ongoing conversations. Like this is Mercury and Venus in the trine of Pluto. This is some really powerful conversations, very profound conversations about realizing our value or what we want or what we discover. This is very significant, powerful conversations going on in relationships. This is powerful encounters, interactions with others. It's like with others, it's like everything that we are talking about today is like deep and profound and powerful and significant and like going like under the surface of things. Like this is not like frivolous small talk energy. This is like us just like really wanting to see the truth, to peer into the depths, to look behind, like look behind the curtain or whatever, to like look see what has been going on back there the whole time, and just like gaining this insight and like the effect that it is having on the way that we are relating to ourselves, relating to others. And then also with the moon, our emotions in the sign of Libra as well. Remember, we just had our new moon in Libra yesterday. This happened at 3 degrees of Libra. So the moon was in very early degrees of Libra. The moon today is transiting like sort of the mid-range degrees of Libra. And by the time we get to this evening around like 8 o'clock Eastern time, so earlier in the day, the closer to the West Coast or wherever and wherever in the world you are, time adjust for that. But we're going to have the moon in Libra coming into a trine between this other sequence of planets aspects that we have currently going on and playing out. And that is Saturn making aspect, okay? Saturn is making a square to Uranus, 1 degree off, Saturn in Aquarius, Uranus in Taurus. Saturn is also right now making a trine to Mars. Mars 19 Gemini, Saturn 19 Aquarius. And Saturn, you guys, is actually getting ready to retrograde back to 19 degrees of Taurus again, or 19 degrees of Aquarius, again solidifying the square with Uranus right as this Mars-Saturn trine is coming into effect. This is some pretty big business that we've got going on right now as well. But with the moon, you guys, in that degree range in Libra today, is definitely like it's activating this. And the moon rules our emotions. Mars is our energy. Mars is the action that we want to take, our willpower, our passion, our motivation, but also, what makes us angry and hostile and aggressive. And Saturn is retrograde right now. Saturn rules control, limitations, things being held back, but also structuring, informing, and laying foundations for things. Saturn controls and restricts, but it's for the purpose actually of like making sure that things are done right, that things are done properly. Saturn is also the Lord of time and the Lord of karma. Saturn and Mars and a trine together. I actually, these are the two like great malefics in ancient astrology. And when Saturn and Mars are coming together, a lot of times there's not like tremendously positive omens about this energy. But I do like the trine aspect between these two because this is a facilitation of energy. And Mars is our, our action and our energy and our motivation, our passion and our willpower. And Saturn is hard work, like concentration, focus, forming, laying foundation, structuring things. And again, like controlling and limiting and repressing, but it's for the purpose of really making sure the job is done right. When we have Saturn and Mars coming together in a trine, this is an ability to really put some focused, concentrated, hard work into something that like pays off, that has like amazing tangible results, that really creates something that is like long lasting and enduring and well put together and very like strong and stable and just like the real deal. This is like feats of like masterpieces and like just very well done works can be produced when we have Mars and Saturn together. And then when we add the moon in there as well, this is like on an emotional level, like how are we restructuring like our inner world with Saturn retrograde and like on an emotional level? And with Mars there also in the sign of Gemini. Remember, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, who is in the conjunction with Venus today in the trine to Pluto. It's like we are ready to act, you guys. That's the third piece of this puzzle. It's like Mars and Gemini in the context of Mercury, Venus together and the trine to Pluto and the sun opposing Jupiter in the sign of Aries, which remember that is the sign ruled by Mars. We are ready to take some action, make some choices. Gemini, the sign of the lovers, right? There's that relationship dynamic again, but also choices and decisions and options and polarities and balancing differences or options. Libra as well, weighing options. And Mars in the trine to Saturn, this is Saturn retrograde. This is restructuring. This is reforming like our own inner world in the trine to the moon with this like emotional fervor through this passion that we are arriving at. Like this is we are gaining some type of internal motivation, okay, to redo various aspects of our lives in alignment with Saturn and Aquarius, you guys, what is true and authentic for us and can really take us a long way into the future because it is built on a solid, authentic foundation. All of this. I like love the recipe that we are mixing together and baking today. It's like my favorite type of loaf that's coming out for us. it's this, like, I really feel like, and if you guys have been with me for a little while and watched the September overview, which we are still in the month of September, and the new moon in Virgo, and now we have the new moon in Libra, like, specifically though, that September overview is talking about how this month of September was really going to take us on this journey of like rediscovering what it is that we truly love and we truly value, and what as a result of that, like, A needs to go and B needs to come in to our lives, and like how are we going to redesign our lives based on these preference changes, essentially recreating our world based on a massive shift of preferences as a result of some type of really profound revelations. This whole month has been indicating that, and like this day specifically, this is where the aspects are playing out. So it should be very interesting to see, you know, in our experiences today, the kind of things that happen, like what the ongoings are, how things are unfolding. But this chart is definitely indicating a very significant day. The nature of conversations should be pretty deep and intense and have a lot to do with either what we're reevaluating in terms of those preferences, or bringing in these relationship dynamics that are just really being hashed out in one way or another, like people really wanting to get to the root of things, really wanting to get to the bottom of things. Could also have to do with some of the stuff that we're finding out, or these conversations, or this messaging that is coming through, what we are learning in this energy. But it's all feeding into each other. It's all feeding into each other. We have, you know, Jupiter in the sign of Aries, which is ruled by Mars. Mars currently being in the trine to Saturn in the moon today. Motivated to, like, passionately motivated from this like emotional level that is really pushing us to really start making some internalized changes to our own, like the fabric of our own like inner world, with this being Saturn ruling the material world retrograde in the sign of Aquarius, and then the sun in Libra ruled by Venus. This is all about relationships in the conjunction with Mercury, relationship dynamics, what we value, what we love, what we want on our mind, money as well on our mind, in the trine to Pluto in the sign of Capricorn, right, ruled by Saturn in the trine to Mars. Like, it's there is not one planet that is unaccounted for in the sign placement of the planets that we're talking about today. They are all connecting back to each other. We have Jupiter in the sign of Aries connecting back to Mars. We have the sun in the sign of Libra connecting back to Venus. Mercury and Venus both in the sign of Mercury, obviously connecting to Mercury, right? We have Pluto in the sign of Saturn that is connecting to, or Pluto in the sign of Capricorn connecting to Saturn. We have Saturn in the sign of Aquarius, which is ruled by Saturn and Uranus. Uranus is in there today too as well, in that square to Saturn. And then we have Mars in the sign of Mercury, right? The conjunction to Venus. And that is just everything. Like, that's all the planets that we are talking about today. And they are all occupying the sign of one of the other. So it's really just like this feedback loop that is creating this energy that is doing what the entire purpose energetically of this month of September, Virgo new moon, and also the Libra new moon. The Libra new moon is also, I mean, this energy of our Libra new moon, it came in yesterday, and we still have a lot of the same dynamics in effect that we had for our new moon yesterday, except for today it's just like up an even bigger notch because of the exact opposition of the sun. Like, these are exact, you guys. Like, this Mercury Venus, this is 27 degrees of Virgo trine Pluto at 27 degrees of Capricorn. Like, this is exact. This is the sun at 4 degrees of Libra opposite Jupiter at 4 degrees of Aries. And even Mars and Saturn are not exact. They're only 1 degree off. And with the moon coming there as well, this is very, very much pretty, like, very tight, intense activation as well. And it's just pretty big time how all of this is playing out today. We're probably going to be feeling a pretty strong sense of self-confidence also coming through with this Jupiter and Aries energy that is really being lit up by the sun today. And with Mars in the trine of Saturn and the moon there, maybe like feeling motivated or courageous to take some type of risk, to move in a new direction. This also, again, has a lot to do with justice being restored too, with the trine energy going on with Saturn and Jupiter opposite the sun, and this Libra energy. Libra is also about justice and balance. Jupiter also brings justice and truth, like a higher form of justice and truth. Saturn rules justice and karma and the trine to the moon and Mars today. Like, there's just a whole bunch of energy that is really, really trying to break us free, you guys. The truth will set you free. This is the truth coming in as a wrecking ball with Pluto in this dynamic as well, and demolishing what is preventing us from seeing what we need to see, to release what we need to release, move on from what we need to move on from, and also really reconnect to the authentic truth of ourselves so that we can begin doing the Mars Saturn moon thing and really like restructuring our view of what we want, laying some new foundations, you know, either like literally tangibly in the world, but this is an air sign. So this is like laying new mental foundations upon which like our new paradigm that we're moving towards of understanding ourselves and the world around us and interacting and all of that will be established upon. And again, the sign of Aquarius, where Saturn is, based on this authentic truth, the age of Aquarius, also the square to Uranus right now, that is freeing us in some type of a way from something that has been keeping us attached to that which is preventing our growth in alignment with activating our destiny and coming into the utmost of our potential. So this is really it, you guys, like realizing what we want. The truth will set your heart free. The truth will set you and your heart free, or the truth of your heart will set you free as well in this energy for sure. We are getting to work. Mars trine Saturn, this is getting down to work for sure. Massive expansion and awareness, very transformative, revealing and insightful discussions and conversations going on for sure about relationships and about what it is that we really want. Communicating feelings of love, affection, and desire very much. There may be some intense feelings that we need to get off our chest in this energy. Remember though, Mercury is still retrograde, you guys. We don't want to jump into action today, even though we may feel a little bit, you know, called to it. With all of this retrograde energy, what is coming through is to help sort of wipe the slates clean and like rectify what has been out of balance, what has not been right, and within us and with our mindset and our perspective about things, so that we can start to make some good choices and decisions in relationships, in finances going forward that will really benefit and allow us to receive that which really fills us up on that very deep internalized level. See, that is what we are really coming to the bottom line of. We're really rediscovering that which truly fills us up on a heart and soul level, and coming to a place where we are needing to separate and detach ourselves from the commitments, the life, the circumstances, the situations, the relationships that we have built on a foundation of that which does not truly fill our cup, based on any type of malaligned ego attachments that we may have had that had been pulling us out of our authentic truth, and therefore keeping us from activating our destiny, rising into our potential, and really beginning to cultivate and serve our gifts to the world. That is ultimately age of Aquarius, what this is all about. Self-actualization and coming to a point where we can cultivate and share our gifts to the world and receive true fulfillment and true purpose in our lives as a result of that. It's happening, you guys. Wanting to act on these discussions that we're having as well. Like whatever, like I said, whatever we're coming to, whatever we're talking about, whatever's hitting us, whatever, like it's really moving us. And with Mars and trine to Saturn, like in the moon there, Mars and trine to moon as well, like we want to act. We want to take some type of action to build something, to build something new, to rebuild something as well with Saturn in Aquarius. This could also, like I said, be rebuilding relationships on a much more stable and authentic and true foundation, if they are truly aligned with us and we do want to maintain them going forward. So this is demolition, this is reconstruction. So this should be a overall like very significant day. Like I was saying in my new moon report, like I feel like we're at like the turning point. Like this is a period of time when sort of like everything changed, and I feel like this is it, you know, just in terms of this year and what these past couple months, actually honestly what this whole year so far, from stemming from our new moon in Aries, I feel like it's sort of all been leading up to this period in time, you guys, and these aspects that are hitting right now that are really creating these massive transformations going on within us, and as a result in a reflection in our lives. And as we move more through this Libra cycle, this is the action-oriented phase. We're in the full moon phase of the year. That's another thing I didn't mention in my new moon report, but I should have. the new moon in Libra, this is like the full moon phase of the year when things are coming to their culmination. Yes, it's the midpoint, it's the turning point, it's also the full moon phase, and this is when things energy is higher and things are just more changeable. It's an action oriented phase. Things are likely to happen, and all this energy is really trying to bring us to a point where we are ready to choose, ready to act. But again, we probably want to wait until next week, once we get into October and Mercury goes direct, although then we're going to be having Mars come retrograde as well. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it day by day, you guys. But anyways, we don't, like I was saying earlier, just another word of caution, we don't want to overextend ourselves today or make commitments that we can't keep as well in this like expansive Jupiter energy. Yes, we have a lot of self-confidence, but we don't want to be, like I was saying earlier, arrogant or just like over the top or just like, just indignant about stuff. Like, we just kind of want to use the truths that we are discovering to fuel our own expansion into our own personal greatness and realigning our lives in a way that is really truly benefiting us and the expansion of our potential at this point in time. Success, though, in many areas across the board has a tendency of coming with Jupiter in the opposition to the sun, as long as we are not, again, like falling into overdoing things, falling into excess, overextending ourselves, just like making promises or commitments that we can't keep as a result of feeling sort of like just on top of the world today, because that is something can be coming through very upbeat, positive, optimistic energy. But that's basically what I have to say today, you guys, in terms of the aspects, in terms of the Sabian symbols, the symbolism that's going on in association with these aspects and transits that are playing out today. We have both the Earth and Jupiter today, you guys, 4 degrees of the sign of Aries. That Sabian symbol is 2 lovers strolling through a secluded park. So we've got the sun in the sign of Venus, Jupiter in the sign of Aries, Venus and Mars. We've got the Venus, we're in our Venus Libra new moon cycle, all about relationships. We've got Mercury and Venus together today, talking about relationships, talking about what we want, talking about love or what we want in love. And then we've literally got the planet blowing things up, expanding everything, supersizing and making everything larger than life. And the Earth today, the position of things on the ground. Literally 2 lovers strolling through a secluded walk. So again, like a secluded walk, there's the Pluto vibe. This is like, what people haven't seen, what's happened in private, what's gone on in private. Number 2, choices and decisions, also harmony and balance, the lovers, relationship dynamics, true love, but also choices and decisions. What do I want to do? What is right for me? Who is right for me? The secluded walk, really taking some time to like really ponder and think about what has gone on in the privacy of our relationships, or just within us as well, and these changes that we're discovering, this 2 energy, these polarities, these options, these choices and decisions in love and relating generally to others. What do we want? Who do we want to be walking with, you guys? Who do we want to be strolling with through the park going forward? That is what we were discovering today. And then the sun at 4 degrees of Libra, a group of young people sit in spiritual communion. So communing and relating with others from the heart, again, in this Libra energy, is definitely something that is on our mind. It's like we want our tribe, you guys. It's like we want the people that we vibe with. No more false pretenses, no more like keeping up images and appearances. Even Venus and Mercury in their conjunction today at 27 degrees of Virgo. That Sabian symbol is aristocratic elderly ladies drinking afternoon tea in a wealthy home, which I feel like is an adorable Sabian symbol, but it also makes me think about like what like false images and false presentations are we adhering to sort of like maintain our status and our our just our image, and not have like gossip and stuff like that going on about us. You know what I mean? Like we're sort of in the trine to Pluto, like that is what is breaking down like any image that we have been adhering to that is not in alignment with the spiritual communion in our heart. Like, are these women, are these aristocratic elderly elderly ladies drinking afternoon tea in the wealthy home, like, are they really connected on like the spiritual communal level of these people sitting around the campfire, or is this just more about like social graces and stuff like that? You know what I mean? Like, this is what's breaking down, like the need to maintain or stay in a presentation of social graces. But this is also, you guys, hilarious to me. Aristocratically elder ladies drinking afternoon tea in a wealthy home, like literally spilling the tea. You know what I mean? Like, Mercury and Venus together, like we're talking about something. This is like rumored. Mars and Gemini, this is like rumors and gossip, communication about other people, about relationships, about ongoings with other people. Venus, Libra, the sun, Jupiter, like expanding what we know about other people, information about other people coming through. And like literally the degree of Venus and Mercury in their conjunction is talking about drinking tea. Like, you know that phrase, like spilling the tea, like we're finding some things out. Like, it's so perfect. So hope you guys like tea, because you're likely to get a nice glass with this loaf that we are baking in the oven today with all of these aspects coming together. But yes, gaining some information. There could be some gossip. There could be some just like stuff spilling out today, you guys. But I feel like whatever the outcome of it is, it's going to be dropping the facade and bringing people to like have this desire to be in the spiritual communion with others, like so that the relationships in our lives are really on that like heart and soul based vibe level, and not like us having to wear a specific mask or a specific facade or act a specific way in order to like fit in with this group or that group, or not rock the boat, or not, I don't know, be outcast or anything like that. Like, no, we're not doing that. But the discussions are likely to be spilling out today, you guys. We also have Mars 19 Gemini in a museum. A large archaic volume reveals traditional wisdom, while Saturn is at a large white dove bearing a message. There is more wisdom, information, messaging, maybe specifically from the past, that is coming back at this point in time as well, and that is really fueling our desire to restructure and to make these changes, to lay these new foundations, like to follow our like emotional motivation that is coming as a result of whatever tea is being spilled or whatever we're learning in this energy. So love it, you guys. All the Sabians today, the energy today, I don't know, it just feels like I'm like, ever since I started writing down this energy, like I can't stop giggling, and I don't know why. It just feels like ironically funny to me for some reason. I haven't even heard any, I'm not recording this video on Monday the 26th. I'm recording it. It's actually Sunday morning, the 25th, the new moon. I'm actually recording this video on the new moon in Libra. But it just feels like ironically funny to me for some reason. So I don't know, you guys, maybe whatever you're finding out, whatever you're hearing, you're going to be like, oh, really? And it just like, I don't know. Feels lighthearted though with the Jupiter energy, even though we've got the Pluto. That's deep, that's dark, that's intense, that's profound. But with the Jupiter energy, I don't know, it's like we are still able to maintain somewhat of a like positive perspective on it, even if it's like the ugliest truth that is surfacing in this energy. So that's what I have to say today, you guys, in the context of the astrology that's playing out and like the Sabian symbols, the symbolism that is coming through in the transits. Let's also talk about our tarot message today, you guys, which I also found to be, I don't know what I think is funny. Like, it's not that I think it's funny. It's just that like all the energy is saying the exact same things, and it's just so obvious that it's just, I don't know, it's just like it just is a little funny to me for some reason. I don't know. And I feel like whatever is coming in this energy, maybe, I don't know, maybe a little funny to us in some way or another. It could not be, very much so could not be, but it might be. I don't know. But let's talk about these cards that we had coming out for our tarot today. We got a ton of cards. We got a ton of reversals. We got one card upright, you guys, plus the back of the deck. So here I am again, so funny. But like, let's look at these cards. We've got the Four of Pentacles in reverse. We've got the Sun in reverse. We've got the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. We've got the Justice card in reverse, you guys. We've got the Seven of Cups in reverse. Oh, look, we've got the Lovers upright. Look at that. And then we've got the King of Pentacles in reverse as well. These are a lot of cards, you guys, and they're in a lot of reasons. Oh, and then on the back of the deck, we've got Death. So, which is not, the Death card never means like, well, I can't say never, but it's not interpreted as literal death. It's like the Scorpio energy. It's like this rebirth. It's like this death and rebirth energy. It's like this Phoenix rising energy. It goes along with the Scorpio vibes and the Pluto energy as well, which we have going on today. Transformation is what is coming through when we get the Death card. But honestly, you guys, like, we do have a ton of cards here, and they did all come out in reverse. And we've got some pretty significant cards here as well. I mean, Justice in reverse, the Sun in reverse, Eight of Pentacles in reverse. But with the Lovers upright being the only upright card, and then the King of Pentacles in reverse, I honestly do feel like this is talking about there's about to be like relationships, right? The Lovers, relationship dynamics, choices, decisions, two lovers strolling through a secluded walk. Like, what are we finding out about things that, like, you know, what has gone on within our relationships, or what do we want? What are we realizing now that we want for our relationships going forward? Choices, decisions, options in relationships. What choice are we going to make? Just the themes of relationships generally being so relevant right now. Like, this is what we know for sure. What we know for sure is this energy is impacting relationships. And what is it doing in the context of relationships? Well, you guys, with the Death card on the back of the deck and the Lovers being the upright card, some type of major change, major transformation is happening in the context of relationships. And what is that major transformation change? Well, you guys, in my interpretation of the way that this energy is coming out right now, it is taking all of this Four of Pentacles in reverse, Sun in reverse, Eight of Pentacles in reverse, Justice in reverse, Seven of Cups in reverse, King of Pentacles in reverse. And I think what the Death energy is doing, what this Pluto energy is doing in the context of the Lovers card is is associated with Mercury in the tarot, and Mercury's in the conjunction with Venus today, which rules relationships, in the trine to Pluto. Like, that is this combination right here. The Lovers with the Death card, that is this transformation, and that is helping us to decide what we want and what we desire going forward. What that is doing, I feel like this Death process is flipping all of this around. I feel like we are in a state right now. I feel like this is referencing that, like, the current state of our relationships, or, you know, where we're at right now, or the balance of things within us and externally. Like, we may be coming out of a period where everything is upside down as well, and all of this retrograde energy too. All of these planets, all of these various aspects of our psyche, going through this internalized reevaluation process right now, pushing towards this Mercury, Venus, trine, Pluto energy. What do we really want, and how does that transform the nature of our relationships, and how do we rebuild our world, Mars, Moon, Saturn, as a result of that? Lovers, Death card, all of these reversals, this process that we're going through right now is taking all of this out of balance energy, all of this, like, just the Four of Pentacles in reverse, needing to let go of something, the Sun in reverse, like not being able to create or feeling in a lack of creativity, the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. This is about, like, not doing, like, the necessary work, like Justice in reverse, things being out of balance, things not being fair, Seven of Cups in reverse, not really knowing what direction to go, like what to choose, having a hard time making choice or decision, King of Pentacles in reverse. This is about, like, not knowing what to commit to, our commitments and stuff being out of alignment. I feel like when we are flipping these around, this Lovers energy, this Death energy, I feel like, honestly, like, we are holding on to now the return of the sun that is coming back for us. We are in a place of doing the inner work that is leading us to this place of self-mastery, that is rebalancing the various dimensions in our lives and therefore in our relationship dynamics, that is bringing us to this place of being able to make a more informed choice, a better option, a better decision based on a greater recognition of who we are and what we truly want and what is really fueling us at this point in time, so that we can move forward and make some commitments, build some foundations, and reestablish our kingdom in a way that is bringing us this King of Pentacles energy, really putting us on our throne and helping us to create the life that is just fulfilling to us on every level, body, mind, and spirit, in this Pentacle energy, really tangibly creating something for ourselves, restructuring our world in alignment with these changes that are going on. And what that is going to do is flip a lot of stuff for us that we've been struggling with, that we've been working towards, but, like, felt was, like, just out of our reach or something like that. So that is what the cards have to say today as well. Let's grab a synchronicity card now. God, Spirit, Universe, what is one last piece of wisdom, guidance, advice that we can benefit from as we are going through this big energy day today? Yep, here it is, you guys. It says wait. That's what I was saying. Like, we may be really feeling inspired to start making some choices, making some action, or taking some actions, like making some decisions, but we need to wait, you guys. even though we may feel really like this is still data gathering, this is observation, this is research, this is data gathering phase. We are not executing yet. We need to wait until I feel like the first week of October at least. First, get into the first week of October before we really start acting and making these changes. But we are like getting primed and we are gaining the necessary data to be able to make these educated, informed decisions that will have a positive outcome in getting us where we want to get to next, which is, if universe has anything to do with it, the path that is expanding our growth and potential in alignment with our authentic truth. So this card says, wait on the Lord and he shall save thee. Proverbs 20:22. So there we have 2022 as well. Relax, let go, and let God. Don't struggle to make things happen before they are ready to happen. Wait and be assured everything is working together for your good. Now is not the right time to advance. Wait in faith and expectancy of the very best. And Jupiter opposite the sun, that is also an expanded faith, trust, and belief in the process in ourself right now. Know that when the time comes to advance, you will be directed to do and say the right things. So that's what we need to keep in mind. When the time is right, we will be directed along those lines. But right now we are learning as much as we possibly can about ourselves and about the world around us so that we know what direction we want to take things going next, and we can really set ourselves up for success in terms of what we are building and creating going forward. So you guys, that is what I have to say for our tarot message today. I hope that you guys liked it. I hope I was able to provide something for you that can give you a little bit of something that might help you as you're navigating whatever experiences are unfolding for you guys today. I hope everyone has a great day. If anything along these lines goes on for you, definitely leave me a comment and let me know, because I'm really interested to see how this energy is generally going to be playing out for people, especially with the Venus, Mercury conjuncting in Virgo, trining Pluto in the earth signs. Like, you really may be hearing from some people today, or you really may be having some significant conversations that are going on that really are having this transformative effect. So let me know, you guys. But that's what I have to say. If you liked this video, you guys, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. There is a subscribe button right below this video. If you haven't subscribed already, please just hit that button. It really helps me out. I'm really trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and when you hit the subscribe button, it like boosts me in the algorithm so that I can head towards doing that. So thank you guys so much. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a website, and some other social media stuff. Those are in my description box below. Share it with your friends as well if you think that they would be interested in this type of content and appreciate this type of thing too. Leave me comments, you guys. Like I said, totally value your comments. Always wondering how this energy is hitting you, is affecting you personally. And come back with me tomorrow, you guys. We are gonna have more energy to talk about as we move through this week, our new moon in Libra cycle. More of this Mars trine Saturn energy, more of this Mercury trine Pluto energy. Also, the moon's going to be squaring Pluto tomorrow as well. So we've got Pluto double dose tomorrow. So I'll be here, you guys. You should be here too. You don't want to miss it. And I will see you then, you guys. Have a very beautiful day. And until tomorrow, bye, guys.